I told the last class that I was in, and I was honored to be there twice, that if you've never Googled your professor, you probably should. How many of you all have Googled your professor to see what he's laid down and what he's done over these years before some of you all were born? And a lot of time you were growing up, there's a lot of stuff that, I mean, your professors associated with, connected with, and a lot of times we don't really get the opportunity to understand the value of people, unfortunately, until they transition, and then you find out, damn, they did that? Shit, they was part of this? But we didn't know because we didn't take time to study or to investigate or research. So that's why I want to make sure I brought that out. Now, unlike the first class, I took time to do an introduction, which I'm going to have to come back full circle to do. The brother who was interviewed, who was videotaping, how many of you are familiar with Zach TV1? Anybody? So this is Zach TV1. Who in here familiar with Lil Bibby, Lil Herb, King Louis, Chief Keef? Okay, so that genre of music, which is considered drill music or Chicago, hip-hop, whatever, he's part of that. And so he's about to actually film something that goes right into what it is that we're going to be talking about. So instead of me giving you the introduction first, I'm going to give you something to write down, and then we're going to have a talk about it. And I want you to talk to me. Because if it's real, we're going to deal with it from a hip-hop perspective. I'm going to tell you what I mean by that. And if it ain't real and you feel, man, this is some bullshit, I want you to let me know. I don't feel that. I don't think it's real. We're going to have a conversation about it. So, the first thing I want you to do is, we're dealing with community, we're dealing with gangs and community violence. The only reason why I can't erase it because somebody just did it with a permanent marker, so I'm going to put some of the information below, okay? My pen is working, my marker working, okay? So I guess some of this stuff I won't be able to give to you in a visual form because I don't think that marker is working. Nobody got a dry erase marker, do you? Well, but you can't, I can put it on this side. Okay. Yeah, because, can everybody see this right here? Okay. We're primarily always thinking about what we're saying to another person, right? Like most times. Why don't you communicate with her? Why don't you communicate with him? So it's usually communication, meaning from one person to the next, right? Right? So, the part of the communication that most times we skip over is the communication where you're talking to yourself even though nobody hears it. Now, some of you all may not want to admit that you talk to yourself. If you answer back, that might be a problem, maybe. But most of us, we don't admit that you do have some conversations with yourself sometimes, right? How many of y'all ever did something and as soon as you did it, you said, damn, I should have followed my first mind? Who ever had that experience? When you said you did it and you was like, man, I should have followed my first mind, I should have did that. Well, we're dealing with internal communication. So, let me give you this right here and then we're going to talk about it. We will say the purest thing in the universe, one man said one time, would be a heart of a child. Because when that baby comes into existence, it doesn't have any hidden agendas, no hidden motives. The baby wants to receive love, baby wants to give love. So, if this boy was free of any blemish or anything that would be considered a blemish, this heart of this baby would be the purest thing in the universe. Now, when you consider that we live in a universe, or I say in a world, not the universe, but a world, that we can honestly say on a lot of levels is what? Less than what it's supposed to what? Be. A lot of things are not where they should be. So when we consider those who have the influences of a child, who would you say are like the top 3, 4 persons who have an influence on that child growing up? Who would you say? Anybody? Parents is number one. Okay, parents. Who else?
Brothers and sisters.
Teachers.
Brothers and sisters.
So siblings. Okay. Teachers. Siblings. Who else? Neighbors. Peers. Neighbors. Okay.
Parents and community.
Okay. The community. How about media? Does media affect children?
Yes.
Media. Okay.
Media affects everyone.
Okay. That's a good list to start from, right? Okay. Now, when we consider those who have an effect on children growing up, I want to ask y'all a question about this word here. What word is that? Lies. How many of us have ever been lied to? For show of hands. Who have been lied to? Okay. Let's go down memory lane. How many of you all can remember when you were a child at a young age and you remember when somebody older than you lied to you and you was little and you remember that? Who was it? Do you remember who it was?
Yeah, my grandma still owed me a
And how old were you? About 8 years of age? Okay. Who else remembers? When you were young, how old were you? About 6 or 7? Who was it that lied to you? Your mother? What was it about, if you don't mind sharing? She lied and said what? She's going to come back to get you from where you were, and she didn't come back. Okay. Now, everybody in here, I'm quite sure you have an experience where you can go back and remember what took place. Just me personally, real quick. I used to live in that white building over there on 62nd in Michigan. Tall white building. R. Kelly and Aaliyah, they had in one of their songs talking about the white building with R. Kelly. I lived on the 17th floor. R. Kelly lived like on the 9th floor. And so that white building, it was called Bishop Gardens at that time in Inglewood. I used to wait for my grandfather to come get me every other weekend because my dogs lived with my grandfather. We lived in, in a project building. So I would look for my granddaddy's, he had a tan rag Cadillac. So I would look for it, and about 9, 10, 11, 12 o'clock, I'm looking, and I didn't see him. And I would say maybe once out of every 7, 8 weeks, he would make his word bond and come when he said he was going to come. Now, when a person lied to you, and you feel that as a child, what's like the most natural thing to feel when an adult lies to you when you're young? Okay, disappointed, what else? Anger, what else? Anger, what else? Say what? Sad, what else?
They don't love me. What if the child...
So unloved, feel unloved.
What if the child does not learn how to lie from his parents, but learns how to lie himself?
Say it again.
What if the child learns how to lie on his own?
What if the child learns how to lie on his own?
Yeah.
We'll talk about that. But I just want to get into when you experience it, how do you feel? Because you don't wake up, you don't come out your mama's womb and say, I'm about to lie to you. You don't come out the womb and do that. So,
what if the child learns how to lie before the parent has lied to the child? For instance, say for instance, a strict parent would you would get in trouble for every wrong thing you did. And for one time your parent asked you, and to save your own butt, to out of fear, you lied, saying that you didn't do it. So, that was a question.
okay, so in your question, because actually I'm about to get to the reactionary. The reason why I gave you the example, when you don't know language, right? You don't know the language of lies yet. So the first thing any of us experience is the sensations, the feelings, the things that come where you can't verbalize it, but it doesn't mean you don't feel it. So the first thing we're dealing with right quick is the feeling part, but then we're going to get right back to what you're talking about. I understand. Now, the word that I would add to this, when you feel the word alien also is a word for strange. How many of you all ever been in an environment growing up and you felt strange in that environment? It could have even been family around. Anybody had that experience where you felt strange in the environment, like you either didn't belong or the people around you was kind of unsure? could be a feeling of the outcast. But I'm giving you that thought associated with the word to make this point. In the beginning, we don't know anything or feel anything except for the principle of I want love. Love to a baby is anything from I'm wet, please change me. I'm going to cry for you if you don't. I'm hungry, somebody feed me. That's demonstrating love at that level. But when I start getting less responsible for the stewardship of your life, and you begin to get hit with it, see, sometimes a lot of us, we look at things that happen in our lives and we'll just shrug them off like, that didn't affect me, that didn't hurt me, that don't mean nothing to me. But the reality is, we're going to cut through the bullshit, because I want you to know what hip-hop detox is really about. When you cut through it, most of us, the psychiatrists, the psychologists call it a defense mechanism. But we put up walls. It's the most natural thing to do because I don't want to feel no pain no more. I don't want to feel it. So because I don't want to feel no pain no more, all this didn't happen to me at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years of age. It comes to a point where, okay, I ain't about to have it no more. So I'm putting up a wall so that I will not feel the pain no more. And sometimes we get to the point where it might damn near cover up our whole heart. And for the first time, I don't care if it's 10 years of age, 12 years of age, 15, whatever age it is, we'll do one of these numbers. We'll say, I can breathe easy now. Because can't nothing come in to hurt me. But what else is true in this example? If can't nothing come in, what else is true? Can't nothing get out. And when we got nothing but pain in here because we've been getting less than what we should be getting. See, mama didn't believe me when my damn uncle kept coming in the damn room. See, they didn't believe me. But I told them what was happening. The neighbors, hell, that's who got me started selling drugs. I started serving because a so-called friend of the family told me, hell, I can get my Jordans like this. All I had to do was just go across the street with that pack. See, when this stuff starts to happen, the question becomes, well, okay, if this wall is around the person, how do we knock this wall down? Because this pain is real. And so this pain naturally turns into hate. And people love to talk about how the black community is filled with self-what? Hate. But when you deal with the individual, what kind of communication must begin to knock these walls down? Because if it's not the right kind of communication, it's not going to get where it needs to go, because whatever is in the heart, it goes right in here. What's that? And whatever's in the mind, we begin to act on it because thought precedes the action. Now we done got to the point where we start taking more questions. Because what I want to find out is, how do we knock this damn wall down? What must be done to start a dialogue, a flow of meaning, to have a communication where the goal is not to be judgmental on a person, but the goal is, damn, you are in pain. I see what you're doing, but you're in pain. You got your Glock talking about you killing anything that come on the block. I got my poles. I don't care if it's a baby around, it's a grandparent. I'm killing up any optus in my damn way. You can call me a criminal all you want. I'm killing everything. Because this dude did this to me. I'm in pain. He gotta go. How do we knock that wall down, y'all? Let's talk about it. I'm ready. Yes, sir.
First of all, all that hate stuff, like, kind of systematic, in America. So, we just gotta come up with a better system, that puts people on the right path.
Well, see, I'm from O Block, and I got a better system. I stay right here in O Block. I sell my work. I got some thoughts, so I ain't got to go nowhere. I got thoughts all up in O Block. So I'm straight. I don't need no other system. I got my own system.
That's not a better system. That's not a good
Do you see the truths that I got in my closet? I got Robin's jeans. I got weed. I got all the loud I can smoke. That's a great system.
It's not, I see what you're saying, though.
I'm just giving you You know,
I know.
come on, talk to me, y'all. How do we knock down this wall?
So we got a question.
Yes, ma'am.
What is hip hop and detox all about? What is CEO? What do you do? What does your company do?
Well, to give you a short answer, because I don't want nobody to deviate from the question.
Okay.
We're a public health organization. Been around for, this is our 10-year anniversary, but we've been around for 14 years. Serviced 300,000 young people between the ages of 12 and 24. People who go through our program that are between the ages of 12 and 24 over an 8-week period of time, we get 92% that graduate from high school and go to some kind of post-secondary. About 88% don't go into any type of criminal activity where they have to go through the justice system. But that's just a little bit about us. You go on YouTube, Instagram, etc., you'll see what Hip Hop Detox is about. I'm a co-founder. I'm a hip hop empowerment specialist. But how do we knock down this wall where people are on the block and they ready to die for their block, die for their hood, kill whoever need to be killed because they got this wall around their heart and they got this pain and this self-hate? Yes, ma'am.
I think we first have to see what causes the pain in order for them to have this mentality. Maybe if something traumatic happened to them, like you said, when they were at a young age, see if they're willing to talk about that. And
No, I ain't willing to talk about the dude who raped me. Hell with that. I'm telling you, this op is the reason why I'm like this. This op, they shot at my boy, they killed my friend, so that's what it's about. I don't want to talk to you about how I got molested. I ain't no conversation I'm going to talk about. I'm a G. G's don't talk about that.
why they don't?
I'm a G. I ain't going to talk about that.
Why do you feel that you don't have to talk about it?
Because I'm a gangster.
And,
I ain't going to talk about that.
I mean,
Real gangsters don't talk about that's in the past. That didn't happen to me, so what? I'm cool.
well, in order for you to open up, and in order, so you want me to talk to you as if I'm like your psychiatrist? Is that what you want us to do right now?
I'm telling you, how do you got this wall down?
Because this thing like me going through like a role play.
You are going through a role play.
Okay.
I'm glad you caught on.
I mean, okay.
So how do we knock that wall down? What do we got to do? What must be done? Yes, ma'am.
Must include people. You got to include them in society. Because those people feel, they feel like they're not part of society. So you have to start including them in ways. Implement ways in the community where everybody is included in the going forward of whatever the plan is.
Well, I don't want to be part of what y'all call community. The preacher's taking my damn mama's money. She having sex with the deacon. So hell, and then what? I'm gonna be part of this for? I ain't part of it. I'm part of O Block. That's what I'm part of. That's all I want. That's all I care about is O Block. That's all I care about. I kill anything else that ain't part of O Block.
And then if we don't include you, we gonna do something else like that. That's what we gonna come. We gonna include you. And anyway, we gonna have to implement it in any kind of way. It don't matter if you don't want to be included, we gonna have to find ways to include people. If we have to go, if that's all you care about.
But I'm not worthy to be included. Do you know how many people I done killed in this neighborhood? You know how many hoes I done had sex with? Do you know what I done did? So why you want to include me? I ain't nothing but a dirty savage. I'm a savage.
That's the problem.
You're part of the community.
That's the problem.
You have to, be a part of the community, you have to, be a positive, productive citizen.
But I'm not positive. I don't live positive. I ain't nobody's role model. So what you want me in here for?
Sometimes you gotta show people different too. That's all they know, but sometimes you gotta bring them outside their element. But sometimes you can bring people outside their element. You don't know that unless you do that. You know what I'm saying? If you only know this certain thing, if you only know this block radius, then you think that's the way it's supposed to go?
Now, she just hit on something that connects to something real big. And I'm doing a role play because the reality is that the major that you all have right now, y'all already know that's what y'all facing, right? Like that's the real deal of what you're gonna get and then some, beyond what I'm doing. So what you're talking about comes to something that some people may consider, and I'm gonna put this on the board to make sure that you all have this. When we talk about hip-hop detox, going back to your question, we don't define hip-hop by what the corporations say hip-hop is. That's what they sponsored for their reasons. We define hip hop as being truth without boundaries. Truth without what?
Boundaries.
Truth without what?
Boundaries.
Truth without what? I'm talking to you up there. Truth without what? And the detox is to remove the poison. Remove the what? At the root of all poisons are lies, myths, half-truths. So when we talk about breaking stuff down, you can't talk about gangs and community violence if you leave this out. You can't leave out sex law, war. You can't leave out education, economics, entertainment. You can't leave out politics, labor, religion. You can't leave this stuff out. So when we talk about the communication that gotta happen, all right, from a spiritual perspective, I'm gonna use a spiritual principle. How many of you all in here know the Lord's Prayer? Who knows that by memory, Lord's Prayer? One person knows the Lord's Prayer? You know, Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be. Let's say it. Our Father, who art in heaven, come on, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom, thy will be done. Where? On earth, as it is in heaven. Forgive us.
This day, our daily bread, as we forgive those who trespass against us.
Now stop. Oh, stop. Before we got a little bit more, we said the word, the F word. What's the F word? Forgive us what? As we what? Forgive. Okay, so stop a second. Now, the person that we're talking to, he said, I'm not positive. Do you know the shit that I done did in this neighborhood? Do you know the people I done killed, the stuff that done happened? But see, the problem is that when you got that wall up, we're not recognizing, you know, we talk about Chief Keef in the other class. Chief Keef had a song talking about what he didn't like, but he ain't gonna tell y'all about how he didn't like getting molested. He ain't gonna tell you about how he didn't like seeing how his people got done when he was a shorty, because he remembers everything. The children's ears are like tape recorders. They're like what? Eyes are like video cameras. Like what? So those memories didn't go nowhere. They still present. So there's something in psychology that's called the victim villain what? Syndrome. So the person who's the villain, you say, well, look at what they done did. You go back far enough in their history, you'll find out that they was victimized. And you be like, damn, that's what happened to you? Yeah. But I was never